Hello everybody, and welcome back to Northern Lights. We are still enjoying the fall festival. We just had a fun bowl of chili. This is a good time all around, must say. Excuse me. With our meals devoured, we joined the crowd once more. We slowly made our way down the main stretch, stopping now and then at various booths filled with homemade crafts. Outside of registration day at college, a Fall Fest was the first time I'd ever really seen the town so lively. Smiles as far as the eyes could see, all along historic downtown. Plentiful, colorful banners, gave it a sense of cheer, and the strung-up lights bathed the crowd in a glowing fall flare. It was rather refreshing, seeing a semblance of vibrant life in a town that most other days was down in the doldrums? Doldrums. What is this word? I'm unfamiliar with this word. Look at this scruffy little deer back here. Well, they seem fun. Oh, sorry. Eventually, we stopped in front of a stage where a band was playing a lively jig. Without hesitation, Aldrich grabbed my paw and pulled me into a dancing crowd. It was a classic two-step that instantly made me feel right at home, and brought straight out of the South. Aldrich was apparently quite practiced with it, as neither of us stumbled over the swift beat. Finally, my kind of dance. The shepherd was swift on his feet, easily keeping up with my experienced moves. A bright grin adorned his face the entire time as we let the music take us. Giggling with delight whenever he'd spin me around, and despite our differences in heights, the shepherd even let me have a go at twirling him. Once we had worked up a good sweat, we left the dancers, rejoining the cheery folks walking the streets. Aldrich held my hand as we took in the sights.
Man, just look at the skyline! The burning orange sky as the sun sets over the mountains.
You'll have to take me up to one of those mountain peaks someday.
Oh, you can count on it. Once spring comes around, we'll start getting some hiking under your belt. Maybe I'll even convince you to go spelunking with me. Dub's too scared of it.
What's spelunking?
Exploring caves, seeing what secrets they have within. The thrilling challenge of making your way just a bit further.
I'd love to try, especially with someone as experienced as you.
Just you wait, Cody. There's so much of the park I want to show you, and have been waiting to show you for years.
Is that why you sent that map for me for Christmas one year? Aldrich paused in his step, and immediately I realized what I'd said. I'd yet to bring up his letters to him. He turned to face me, a look of hope in his eyes.
How do you know about that?
Remember how I got the care package from home? Well, I guess my mom managed to save some of the letters he sent, the ones she snuck away or rescued from my father.
Really?
I hope that you don't mind that I finally read them, after all these years.
Why would I mind? They've always been meant for you, and I had faith they'd end up in your hands eventually. I knew they would.
I'm really sorry I stopped writing to you. Wish I could have congratulated you for the wins. Thank you for being honest with me. And now I know you were trying to come see me at the start of the summer. Standing with him in the fairway, I felt on the verge of tears. The happiest of dates thus far was now being sullied by me getting caught up in lingering regret.
Hey, it's okay, Cody. Hey, it hurt not hearing from you. I won't lie to you about that. What matters now is that they found their way to you, and we found our way to each other. Having you in my life again is more than I could ask for. So don't apologize.
Aldrich pulled me into his arms, squeezing me tight enough to wring the sadness out of me like a wet sponge.
Besides, we've got so many new memories to make.
Thanks, Aldrich. Once he let go of me, the shepherd took my hand again and had us drift back into the crowd once more. I have to say, Aspen Hollow's Fall Fest is giving Mardi Gras a run for its money.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's just as lively, if not more so. People as far as the eye can see, incredible music, fantastic company. As the sun continued to set, Aldrich and I couldn't be any happier, soaking up every second of each other's company, paws constantly wandering, laughing. We took a turn down a side street, which was lined with carnival games and even more food vendors. The shepherd brought us a couple hot dogs and a chocolate malt to share. As I took a first sip of the sweet beverage, I almost choked as Aldrich's ears shot up and he turned us toward one of the stalls, much like an excited puppy.
Oh man, come on! I love this game!
Aldrich hurriedly rushed us over, not even giving me a chance to get a bite in. He paid the attendant and grabbed the first ball. Oh, okay. With clearly practiced technique, he flung it, sending it spinning through the air, landing in the intended basket with a hard bounce. It instantly circled the inside. Both of us fixated our eyes on it, eager to see if it would stay. Just when it looked golden, it tipped over the edge of the basket and fell to the ground. Damn, almost. The second ball was thrown with even more vigor, teasingly rolling along the rim, before finally slowing down and falling in place at the bottom of the basket. And this CG is real cute, guys. It's really cute. Winner, winner, chicken dinner! Claim any of these small prizes.
Which one do you want, Cody?
What, for me? Really? Looking them over, I picked out a little plush rabbit with antlers. For some reason, the floppy protrusions were giving me quite a chuckle. I don't know what this thing is, but I love it.
It's a jackalope.
A what?
Jackalope! They're a mythical creature up here, like Bigfoot. And jackrabbits with antlers. Misty's been trying to find a real one since middle school.
He took a sip of our chocolate shake as we walked away from the game, finding a moment of peace from the crowd to properly enjoy the hot dogs.
Would you like to go on any other rides they've set up?
Yeah, sure. Nothing crazy, though.
How about the Ferris wheel, then? A pretty good view from up there.
Perfect. We've already spent hours at the festival, and Aldrich and I hadn't been dancing around the bush. We were on a proper date. No fake it till you make it by attending prom with a girl. No more awkwardly dismissals of flirting. The Fall Fest was a genuine, authentic experience. My first one ever while out in public. One where I completely embraced everything about myself. A well-deserved culmination for the roller coaster of emotions that finally led to something amazing. The first true date of my life. As Aldrich held my paw, leading me onto the empty Ferris wheel carriage, I let my thumb stroke the back of his hand, tracing small circles on the silken fur, as he so often had on my back whenever nervousness was getting the better of me. A soft smile spread across my muzzle as he squeezed my paw in response. Aldrich wrapped an arm around my back, pulling me closer against the side, and I let my head come to rest on his shoulder. Completely uncaring if the eyes of a long waiting line were upon us, no voices in my head screaming to protest, and no fire upon my back. I watched the stars above shimmer, the sky tinted rainbow by all of the festival lights, nuzzling firmly into the shepherd's shoulder as the wheel began to turn. Aldrich had never been anything but absolute kindness in my life, a man who's always considered the beauty of nature and happiness to be what mattered most. All of the nights we'd stolen at summer camp, just the two of us, free from everything, filling the evenings with laughter and the days with rambunctious energy. Secrets shared until the sun rose in the morning. We connected as though we'd already been friends for more than our entire lives. the past and whatever may lay ahead of us. That fateful summer, he'd lit up the pitch black of the night, and that was my life, and opened my eyes to all of the joys I couldn't know if I just stood for what my truth was. All these years later, through letters unread until now, Aldrich's spirit had stuck by me. It lingered in my heart on the hardest days. The geode by my bedside served as a constant reminder that there was an exotic beauty to the world, waiting for me to come out and embrace it. They'd always been a reason I kept fighting, kept pushing, despite all of the hurt, the horrors, whether imagined or not. Even when fear took hold of me, its harshest, rawest face yet, one that threatened to drag me down into the depths of hell, the shepherd had always been there to pull me back out. Aldrich was my northern star, a shimmering light in the vast of night that always guide me out of the darkness. Sorry, guys, and back home. A steadfast reminder that I was allowed to be happy for who I am, for who I want to be, and for whom I wanted to give my heart to. Oh, look at that. Guys. Without hesitation, I turned slightly, grasping the shepherd by the neck. The instant his head turned to mine, I pressed my muzzle to his. A rush of warmth spread through every fiber of my existence. In that moment, as his paw grasped my arm, leaning into the kiss. Hearts raced, a beating synchronizing until we existed as one. A pure embodiment of love, a bond forged in the fires of adversity, a connected experience that shone brightly across generations. Through this kiss, Aldrich had filled the heart of the Louisiana Bayou with the love long ago stolen from it. Through our embrace, we kindled hope against the solemnness that was Aspen Hollow. Aldrich's claws gently raked over my arm, as our muzzles danced upon each other's. Tongues teasing, prodding, and exploring every inch, his soft, excited growls rumbling deep in my throat. The carriage gently swaying as we pressed more firmly into our embrace. Stroking along the side of his head, I let my fingers tease his scruff. All while he slid an arm under my shirt, a paw pad to fur, holding me, keeping me as close as possible, neither of us ever wanting it to end. Until, with a longing whisper escaping me, the kiss broke.
You always could hold your breath the longest.
Aldrich's head lowered, resting his forehead against my own, eyes still closed, the soft, labored breaths coming from both of us.
I love you, Aldrich.
And tears began rolling down my face. Aldrich's ears perked firmly as he gently nuzzled my cheeks, brushing away the tears with his soft nose. Pure, unbridled happiness washed through me, carrying away a lifetime of loneliness, of heartache. Free at last, in love with the most perfect dog in the world, excited for what laid ahead of us as mates.
I love you too, Cody. Why are you crying, River Dog?
Because I think I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Deep down, despite life telling me otherwise, for all these years, I always knew it was meant to be you. That you'd be the one to set my spirit free. Aldrich let out a hearty huff and a playful bark, pressing his muzzle into my neck, taking a slow, deep breath.
Cody!
Yeah?
I've cared about you since the first day we met. I didn't know what it was back then. But seeing you happy, spending time with you, it filled me with a tingling warmth, something I hadn't realized I was missing. When I saw you again for the first time in Video Den, after all these years, I just knew. And I don't think it had ever been completely clear until this moment. I've spent so many days in the forest, enjoying the majesty of it. There's always been something missing, though. Some part of me that never allowed new discoveries to feel complete. And now I do. It's you, Cody. You're what I've been missing all these years. The morning sunlight waking the forest. And I'm so glad we're back together. No one gets this chef's tail wagging like you do.
I giggled softly as he let out another hot and heavy huff, a breath rolling through my neck fur. As the wheel started to slow down, approaching solid ground, the shepherd took my paw. He pulled back and looked me in the eyes, holding one of my hands in his eyes shimmering in the festival lights, a few teardrops of his own running down his cheeks. Aldrich pulled me in for another kiss, longer than the last, deeper than the last. My whole body felt as though fireworks were exploding inside. Never in a million lifetimes could I have imagined meeting someone I could love this much. Begrudgingly, as the Ferris wheel came to a stop on firm land, our lips parted. Aldrich held my hand to lead me off the cabin. We walked closer together than ever before, bumping up against each other, chuckling like lovebirds, though neither of us seemed to care. All that really mattered was us. The shepherd brought us pink, fluffy cotton candy to share as a final treat for the evening. And I followed close behind as he brought me to the end of the downtown strip. I sat down with him on the edge of the cobblestone bridge. Wordlessly, we cuddled against each other, sharing the sweet treat and watching life pass by. The only thing striking enough to bring us out of the state of quiet bliss was the spectacle of a fireworks display lighting up the night. Powerful, dazzling colors unfurling across the night sky, sounds mixed with the crowds cheering with delight. Halfway through the lengthy display, I leaned up against the shepherd, laying my head down on his shoulder, softly rubbing against it. I saw his comfort as I let my mind wander. Not long after the display ended, the festival naturally drew to a close, but we stayed on the bridge, enjoying each other's embrace even as the crowd dispersed and the streets grew dark. While glancing down at the bubbling, gurgling creek below us, I saw the distorted reflection of the moon and our silhouettes on the water. I was reminded of us swimming in the summer camp lake, bathed in similar moonlight, our laughter joining the chorus of nightlife, except we were so much younger then. Only 2 years after, having stayed in touch with him, I remembered waiting excitedly for the mailman every day, hoping a letter would come. Until, like the waves of the lake retreating, like the buses rolling away, the letters disappeared, and so too I stopped. I just gave up. 4 whole years without talking to Aldrich. And I couldn't help but dwell on all of the ways my life might have been different. All of the pain I could have spared us. I would have spared us, if only I'd been braver. And then the floodgates burst wide open. Tears started flowing down my muzzle. They rolled down my whiskers, making them droop under the weight, before falling and disappearing into the stream, leaving soft ripples again and again. Aldrich must have noticed me tense up while I sobbed, as he glanced over to meet my damp face. Years of sadness, of helplessness, of repressed frustration were finally pouring out of me. Years of wasted moments, wasted potential. So much of my life I'd spent hiding, lying to everyone, myself included. That one moment, that split-second decision, when I finally opened up to the gang during our trip to Cedar Valley, burst open a whole new world to me, one they'd already given me more joy than I knew what to do with.
Cody, it's okay. What's wrong?
The shepherd traced a claw over one of my falling tears, pulling out a napkin to dry my face. His usual kindness began to carve a smile back onto my face. The shepherd slipped off his letterman jacket and wrapped it over me, pulling me tighter against him as we sat together. I've wasted so much of my life, Aldrich.
You haven't wasted anything, Cody. Listen to me. We never knew what the world has in store for us. what awaits us past the tree line. We just keep hiking, facing challenges, witnessing the beauty and the danger as we go. Sometimes the damage, the difficulties, and what we need to grow, to get to where we are, to what we want. To heal hurts we didn't realize we had. Life is a mystery, one we'll never have the answer to. Maybe things had to work out the way they did, to bring us back together at least.
My tears slowly came to a stop, a muzzle patted dry by the canine. I glanced over at him with a renewed smile. Aldrich.
Yeah?
You're the best mate an otter could ask for. Aldrich's ears perked, that familiar to the grin shining across his face. Gently, he ran a paw up across my chest, my chin, using 2 fingers to lift my muzzle.
And you're the best mate a silly shepherd like me could hope for, River Dog.
Aldrich pulled me into another kiss, the shortest thus far, yet just as intense in my heart, maybe more so. A wanting whine escaped me as he parted. Then I noticed the northern lights dancing overhead, their colorful shimmering bands running between stars, over mountain peaks, and through Split Peak itself, like an endless ethereal river. The mystical colors, wisps of beauty, nature on full display overhead, and I with it. Right now, for the first time in my life, I felt whole, full of light, purpose, and hope, excited for my future, truly looking forward to it, the good and the bad. And one more shared, a knowing look, one more inviting, daring kiss, and I found myself surrounded by a haze of bliss and desire. One that lingered and thickened with our intertwined hands, and slowly heated up back into steam as we hurried back into my apartment. But my heart swelled with pride and confidence after hearing his compliments nevertheless. I love you so much, Aldrich. I'm so grateful to have you in my life, to have you be my first.
I love you as well, River Dog. I'm excited about our future together. Hope you don't mind it too much, but I could be quite the horny dog.
I wouldn't want it any other way. Held tightly together like this, exhausted but content, the pair of us drifted off to a deep and long sleep. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna end the part here, everyone. So I do hope you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.